When it comes to the budding craze of YouTuber boxing, no one's done it better than Logan Paul. The 28-year-old media personality has used his savvy promotional skills and internet stardom to have some huge successes in the world of boxing, but it seems like his time in the ring, even with a legend of the sport like Floyd "Money" Mayweather, hasn't come without its fair share of drama and headaches. So from massive online fame to the perplexing complexities of boxing checks, this is why Logan Paul hates Floyd Mayweather. If you haven't heard of Logan Paul and his younger brother Jake, you must be living under a rock. The two brothers are some of the biggest figures in content creation, and in recent years, Logan has been having some enormous success, diversifying his brand with a bunch of different projects. The YouTuber hosts his own podcast named Impulsive, where he's had the chance to interview the likes of comedy superstar Kevin Hart and hip-hop royalty Ice Cube. The Ohio native has collaborated with British YouTuber KSI, creating and promoting their own beverage, Prime, which has taken off around the globe. He's made an unexpected diversion into pro wrestling and surprised many of his fans with just how talented of a showman he really is. But arguably one of Logan's most interesting excursions has been into the world of boxing, as he helped pioneer the trend of online personalities hashing out their differences inside the ring. It all began back in 2018 when, after defeating Joe Weller in a white-collar boxing match, the YouTuber KSI decided to call out Logan, unwittingly beginning what would become a huge craze of influencers lacing up a pair of boxing gloves. The two built their rivalry, and in August of that year, their fight took place, and thanks to their promotional skills, the event was a huge success. They advertised it as the largest amateur boxing match in history, which may just be true, considering that they reportedly sold over 1.3 million pay-per-views. The fight ended in a draw, so a rematch was scheduled, and almost exactly a year later, the two met again. This time, KSI was able to get the better of Paul, winning the bout via split decision. There's no doubt that these fights proved to Logan that he could generate some serious buzz and cash in the ring. It's no surprise then that a few years later, when he was offered the opportunity to fight one of boxing's all-time greats, he happily accepted. In December of 2020, it was announced that Logan Paul would be sharing the ring with none other than Floyd "Money" Mayweather. The unusual matchup seemingly stemmed from the retired boxing legend's desire to make what he felt would be some easy money, and if we're being honest, you can't blame him for feeling that way. Floyd is considered by many to be the greatest boxer of all time. He holds an undefeated record of 50 wins and 0 losses. And he's won 15 major world championships across numerous weight classes. He reportedly earned over $1 billion during his career, and his defensive but surgical style of boxing have allowed him to avoid the major health issues that often plague boxers after retirement. Mayweather competed professionally from 1996 to 2017, when he retired, but it seems his love for boxing just wouldn't let him leave the game alone. In 2018, he took part in his first exhibition boxing match, and after a couple years, he returned for his second exhibition, this time against Logan Paul. When asked about why he was returning to the ring, to fight a YouTuber of all people, Floyd made no secret of the fact that the money was his motivation. In an interview with the Disruptive Entertainer podcast, he explained that he could make more money fighting a YouTuber than he could fighting a professional boxer, and added that his exhibition with Paul was something people want to see. Logan spoke on the opportunity during an appearance on ESPN, explaining that it was a no-brainer accepting the offer to fight Mayweather, and that it fit into his and his brother's plans of becoming the biggest prize fighters in the world. The match ended up taking place on June 6 of 2021 at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. The bout was split into 8 3-minute rounds, and being an exhibition, there was no winner announced at the end. As anyone familiar with boxing predicted, the match was dominated and dictated by the former world champion rather than the young YouTube star. Logan appeared aggressive and tried using a volume approach to beat his opponent, but the much more experienced Floyd used his trademark defensive style to avoid any real danger. Despite the weight difference, Mayweather was able to land some blows, and by the fourth round, Logan appeared visibly fatigued, clinching after every exchange in an attempt to use his size as an advantage, as well as catch his breath. Mayweather's superior boxing skills were pretty much proven by the punch stats following the fight, which showed that Floyd landed 43 of the 107 punches he threw, while Logan only landed 23 of the 217 strikes he attempted. In his post-fight interview, Mayweather praised his opponent, saying, "He's better than I thought he was. He's a tough, rough competitor." The exhibition reportedly generated over 1 million pay-per-views, and Mayweather supposedly pocketed $65 million for his performance. Paul took home significantly less, having been guaranteed $250,000 for fighting and 10% of the pay-per-view buys, which amounted to around $5 million. Not a bad day at the office if you ask me. But this is where this story gets tricky. Things between the two seem to end on good terms, but ever since the bout, Logan has made multiple public claims that he has yet to be paid in full. On his own podcast, Paul has made claims that he is owed between $2 and $3 million by the former champion, branding him a rat and a scumbag. He's even threatened to take legal action against Mayweather, citing other lawsuits that have been leveled against the former athlete for issues surrounding payments owed. Jake, Paul's younger brother, has spoken out about the situation publicly, saying, "They're pressuring him both legally and behind the scenes, but it's embarrassing for Floyd Money Mayweather to not have enough money to pay my brother." It may well be that Logan and Floyd have come to an agreement since then. As an appearance on Kevin Hart's show Cold as Balls, I saw Logan addressing his relationship with Mayweather. When Hart asked about the situation, Logan expressed gratitude to Floyd for sharing the ring with him, saying, "I look forward to receiving the rest of the money you owe me, but thank you." Hart hinted at the payment issues that have plagued boxing in the past, and it seems that there's some truth to that. It's not uncommon for boxers to get paid only a portion of what they're contractually owed, especially when the numbers reach tens of millions of dollars. Promotions are slow to pay outstanding debts, and Mayweather is familiar with that, while it seems that Logan is most definitely not. Floyd addressed the payment issues surrounding the YouTuber in an appearance on The Pivot podcast, saying that it comes with the territory, adding, "The money on the back end, though, from pay-per-view, that takes a while. Nothing comes right away. I'm still collecting checks from fights 7 or 8 years ago." I doubt that Logan wants to wait 8 years to collect what he's owed. You can't really blame him for being mad. Heck, if someone owed me millions of dollars and refused to pay, I'd be pretty mad too. Some fans have speculated that Floyd Mayweather may not be as wealthy as he seems, and he's simply unable to pay Logan, but there's no substantial evidence to support those claims. As far as Mayweather is concerned, maybe Logan will have to keep chasing him for that cash, and that's just how the game goes. Well, there you have it, folks. From perhaps the largest exhibition match in boxing history to the perplexing complexities of boxing checks, that was why Logan Paul hates Floyd Mayweather.